It's another lovely episode of Flipside on independent television, reaching you live from that ancient city of bronze. I love to call it that city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, Flipside is one show where we get to look at issues from a different perspective, rather than the very obvious perspective, okay? And it reaches you every Wednesday from 1:30 till about, 2:20. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, I'm not alone. I've got some amazing people in the house with me, and together we're going to be dissecting today's issue. To my far left is a clergy and a social analyst. He's someone who, has a very vast experience as regards social issues. He goes by the name of Omije Oshoria. It's good to have you in the house, Omije Oshoria. All right, seated next to Omije Oshoria is a lady. Blessed is she amongst men. All right, she's an educationist and also someone who is very passionate about gender affairs. All right, she's a woman and she also believes in, equity between both genders. She goes by the name of Treasure Unwago. It's good to have you in the house, Treasure.
Good evening. Afternoon. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. All right, so tell me, how's your day been?
My day has been very fine, at least.
All right, and tell me, how does it feel to be in the midst of two men?
And that's the equity we're talking about.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually very much on point because we're talking about gender affairs here. We're talking about the extremes of gender advocacy, right? Now, Oshoria, I would like to start with you.
Yes.
I think it's very important that we lay the ground rules for this. Let's begin to define the terms. Let's begin to put things in proper perspective. What's gender advocacy to you?
Well, before I continue, let me greet. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, to me, gender advocacy talks about the support, systems of support, systems of defense, a mechanism that is being set to support a particular gender. These days we are in an era where a particular gender is preferred to the other, and that has made some persons to feel little, feel lesser, and that has made them to drift away from that gender to go and create their own gender.
I really hope I know where you're going with all of this, because
which has made society to be in trouble. You see, this whole advocacy for gender, I think, is a big issue, and I'm not a fan of it. I just like it when everybody is equal, when everybody is treated with so much respect, regardless of gender. I don't see one gender greater than the other.
Okay.
I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a fan of.
You're not a sexist.
Yeah, I'm just neutral. I believe people should be given the right treatment. I feel people should be given the right opportunity to thrive. People should not be judged by their gender, like Martin Luther King said, that he has a dream that one day his 4 little black daughters will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content
of their character.
So I don't believe in this whole gender advocacy. I'm not a fan of it. So I believe that people should be judged by the content of their character. So that's it.
Okay, I think the whole gender advocacy thing was born out of the outcry by some persons who felt marginalized, okay, that their genders are not being given the pride of place in the society.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to ask, does that mean you don't believe in, does that mean you believe in gender equality?
Yes, I do. I'm a fan of it.
So you think both genders should be equal, should be treated equally?
Well, I won't say they are equal, but they should be treated equally.
Okay, now I think that's where the controversy lies. If you don't believe why should they be treated equally?
Even the Bible,
okay,
Galatians 3 talks about it. I think 1 Peter 2 talks about it as well, that we should dwell with the family with understanding. So I feel that the reason why, society is somehow, men are seen as the top. They are seen as people that as the head per se. But I don't believe in that. I've seen cases where a man give birth to all daughters, and they are doing well in their respective career
fields. Yeah.
But you see a man giving birth to all males, and who knows? You see them misbehaving. So I'm not a fan of. So what I believe is that women should be treated right. in society, because they are humans. It was even stated in the Bible that there was a prophet in the Bible who had 7 virgins who were all prophetesses, and they did well. We've seen women doing well in the Bible. We've seen Deborah, we've seen Mary, the mother of Jesus, we've seen Mary Magdalene, we've seen Martha, we've seen women with remarkable characters, and we've seen them making impact. Even the killing of twins, Mary Slessor, she stopped it. Even the name Nigeria was given to us by a woman who was a girlfriend to Lord Lugard. So we cannot erase the impact of women in our society. So on a concluding note on that, I think women should brace up. They should work on themselves. They should grab opportunities so that they can be impactful. So let me tell you one thing about impact. If you are doing well in this era of social media and all of that, you will be noticed.
Okay.
Coupled with the grace of God and with recommendations, you will be noticed. So
what you're saying is women should up the ante.
They should up their game in participating. I mean, they should up their game in education. You know, they should work on themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, because one thing I believe is that life is all about opportunities. It will come. Okay. It may not come to the but it will come. So when it comes, based on the fact that you've lived prepared, when it comes, you grab it with your 2 hands.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Treasure, there are some women who are of the opinion that women do not get as much opportunity as they deserve, you know, to, you know, be the best that they can be in the society. For example, there are women who believe that society doesn't give women a voice. Okay, let's look at the political system, for example. Some women believe that it's a man's world or it's a man's game. So a woman who aspires to be maybe a local government chairperson, for instance, or chairman, right, might not feel the need to, you know, take up that challenge because she feels she's a woman and even if she tries, she's not going to win. Why is that?
Okay, so first of all, women are already stereotyped to a certain behavioral pattern, whereby, for instance, now, there is already like a set goal for like the way a woman should behave. For example, a woman should take care of the home, a woman belongs in the home, she belongs behind her husband. Such phrases are what like mothers,
the other room, like someone would
like
say.
she belongs behind her husband. Such phrases are what like parents used to train up their girl child, and like that dims whatever inspirations they have to excel in most areas.
Okay.
So going into politics now as a woman, people will tell you, if you want to go into politics, a woman that goes into politics cannot keep her home, she should not be able to like hold her home, and so such things will like stop women from going into or venturing into these certain areas where I feel women will actually excel and do as much as men are doing and do as much as men are doing in that areas.
All right, so I want to know now, because you know it's easy to blame society for certain things or for certain ills. But if you now begin to look inwards, you see that there are certain areas in which you have really not been living up to expectation, right? Now, some women who claim that society hasn't given them enough opportunity to excel or to, you know, represent in certain areas. I feel like some of them have really not done much for themselves. For example, you know, I work, you know, on radio, right? And sometimes there could be a topical discourse and then you leave the phone line open for everyone to call. The majority of people who call, especially on social issues, are men. You hardly see women calling in to participate or to contribute. Don't you think that is where, you know, it begins from? Because if you cannot, you know, participate in such conversations, you cannot say things that paint your gender in a positive light. That in itself is already saying that you are not qualified to take up bigger roles and bigger responsibilities, don't you think?
Okay, aside from the fact that society is easily blamed for certain things, okay, I feel like whenever they want to speak on such things, most women think of the backlash they'll get. Really? And yeah, exactly, they'll think of the backlash they'll get, and that will like dissuade them from saying or airing their own opinions and views. That just For me, that just depends on the environment they've actually been brought up in, and the things they've been exposed to, the things they believe in, and those. So that's what like limits them from saying such things. So that's where we see limitations for women and all of that. There's no equity, even though we all say, we are equal, there's gender equality and all of that. I don't really think there's gender equality.
You don't think there's gender equality?
No, I don't think gender equality functions in the country we are in.
You know, some persons will actually tell you that as far as nature is concerned, that gender equality is a farce. That nature itself already draws a distinction between men and women. For example, you know, men are naturally, you know, more often than not, of course there are exceptions, but exceptions don't make the rules, like they say. More often than not, men are stronger than women physically, right?
Yes.
Now that in itself already, you know, sets men apart. And then there are other areas in which women are stronger than men. You know, there's more to strength than just the physical. Right? There are other areas in which I feel women can do very well, and men might have to take a backstage. Don't you think that's already, you know, says a lot about the difference between men and women, and the fact that there's really no gender equality? Ashoria.
That question is a very dicey one.
Okay.
When it comes to gender equality, like I said, I am not a fan of it. Though it exists because of the nature of our country, Nigeria, based on its cultural antecedents, based on popular perception, based on strengths and weaknesses, and all of that. But to me, personally, I think I'll still fall back to what I said earlier, that women should work on themselves.
Okay.
One thing I believe about opportunity does not know gender. Yeah. If you are prepared, if you are most qualified, if you've done your homework, if you have all the necessary documents, when I mean documents, I mean certifications, and the last one, which I will not ignore, if you have grace. You see the way I'm emphasizing more on that. If you have grace.
But I think the word grace has been abused in recent times, because nowadays people attribute a lot of weird things to
grace. Grace is still grace.
Okay.
Grace is unmerited favor. Let's leave it at that, at that level. So, if all of these parameters is playing for you and the cards are being brought to the table, trust me, you're going to get such opportunity regardless of your gender.
Okay.
You know, I've seen very great women occupying very lofty positions in political sphere. Not because of the fact that they are women. No, nobody cares about if you're a woman or not. When these parameters are brought to the table, this one is most qualified, and it will be given to them based on such records that is on the table. So I'm not a fan of it. And one thing that I have noticed concerning women is that they've actually dwelt more on their weaknesses.
All right, just hold that
realizing. No.
Don't worry. I'll continue from there, okay? But just hold on. Still FLIPSIDE on independent television, and today we're taking a look at the extremes of gender advocacy. So far, we've just been looking at gender advocacy. And Ashoria, you were saying something before we went on that.
Yeah, I think one of the major pitfalls to all of this is that most women dwell more on their weakness. And they have this whole prejudiced opinion about themselves. Even without facing the judge, they've already judged themselves based on the fact that they are scared of popular opinion, they are scared of unnecessary bantering, they are scared of backlashing. From who? See, let me tell you something. As a woman, you are born to be great. Women can do a lot of things that men cannot do. Okay. Men, we are programmed to do one thing, and we take it at a step. Women, their mind are already programmed to do multiple things because of their inner strength. We call it chakra. Let me not go there. Because of their inner strength. Now, don't forget that women have the ability to birth a life.
It's strength.
Yes, I'm trying to talk about what women, the power that women possess that they don't know.
That
why is it that if you want to give leadership position that have to do with management, you give it to a woman? Now let's relate it down to marriage. Anyway, because of time frame, because of time constraint. So many of these women do not know that they have power. They look at it now. Woman, womb, man, two. Womb, man, two. Man is just one, single.
Sorry, I don't think I like what you're going with.
No. I have to be real. Okay. So if you know that God has given you so much power to do, you should not write yourself off regardless of your gender.
Okay.
You have so much strength. And don't forget that a 20-year-old girl is smarter than a 65-year-old man. It has been proven. In terms of intelligence quotient, we may have higher IQ more than the men. Okay. If only they put it into use. Now, have you not noticed that if a girl decides to go studious, to the way of the books, she will be 10 times intelligent than all the guys in her class? That will tell you that these women have some. Don't forget that men were created from inanimate object, which is dust. But these women were created from life. So God has given them. Very controversial takes. No, it's true. It's true now. Okay. So God has given them lots of power. But that does not make the man any less. No, I am not saying the man is less.
Okay.
Bible, God has already made man to be the head. No doubt. Nobody is contesting that. Okay. But sometimes we must set the record clear.
Okay.
For even the blind to see. So women should not dwell more on what society thinks about them. Rather, they should work on themselves. They should work on their emotion. That is also another problem.
Okay.
You know, the reason why most women normally fail in leadership position is because of this emotional insecurity. It's a big problem. So they should work on their emotion. They should bring their A game to the table. They should work on their certifications, which is document certificate. They should go and learn. They should go and study. Then, like I said, the God factor, the grace factor.
All right.
So that will help them.
Now, Treasure made mention of the
to thrive.
The factor of intimidation, right?
Yeah.
You know, as regards the reason they do not seem to be taking their pride of place in the society. For example, when it comes to public discourse, some of them really do not participate as much as you would expect them to.
On the point of intimidation, right?
Yeah. So, do you think the male gender has any role to play in that? Do you think that has anything to do with the male gender?
You feel the male gender is bullying them?
Do you think so?
I don't think so. Like I said, do not have a prejudiced opinion about yourself, even when you have not been judged. You can only be judged based on what you have done. I don't know if you are getting me.
Okay.
Like I said before, we may have strength. So don't dwell on what. How will you tell a man that is deaf that people are making mockery of you? A deaf man that does not hear, but he can deliver results. Do you think he's listening to whatever is being said about him? No. So they should pay deaf ears to naysayers. See, let me tell you one thing about this life. People will always talk. Even if you are doing well, people will talk. Even if you are faltering, people will talk. So they should not pay attention to those things. They don't have this whole mindset that there's a word I'm looking for now. They should not have this mindset that men are out there to bully them. No, it means that you've already judged yourself.
Okay.
So be the best at what you do. Come out with your A game. Be the top. Like I said, get education and make yourself known. That's also another thing. Make yourself known, because we are in the jet era of social media, where you already have a mechanism, systems in place for the world to hear you, for the world to know you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they should make themselves known, and this will help them a lot.
I really hope they, make themselves known as much as they should, because, like we rightly said, nobody is promised anything, and society doesn't offer anybody anything.
No.
You must go out there and grab the opportunities.
Fight for it. The world will not give you what you want to.
Absolutely. Fight for it. Now, Treasure, let's now begin to look at the extremes of gender advocacy. Okay. Right now, there are people who have taken it upon themselves to, advocate for their gender, to fight for the rights of their gender, especially women. Nowadays, we have several NGOs, run by women fighting for the rights of the girl child. Okay, they will tell you that, just like you've said, the women in the society are being marginalized and they deserve much more. So you see them fighting for the rights of the girl child and all of that. Now, do you subscribe to that?
Yes, very much.
Do you think, women deserve more?
Yes, I think.
So in your own little capacity, what would you say you've done, to advocate for more, for better conditions for the girl child?
Okay, in my own case, what I have done.
Yes. What role have you played so far?
Okay. First of all, about this setting up, you know, NGOs
yeah.
to fight for the girl child and all of that. Okay, for example, now he made mention of social media.
Social media, yeah.
Social media, okay. I did not want to go into social media, but he talked about also women having this prejudiced opinion already about themselves. They've already judged themselves. In a situation where people are already judging you, this is not even about you judging yourself. Have you gone to social media to see where women post their achievements or talk about their achievements or talk about what they want to achieve? That is aside, you know, giving birth and taking care of the home.
Okay.
Have you seen men who are triggered by it? There are men that just sit down and they are actually triggered. Do you really think
men are triggered, or
yes,
they're just
yes, there are men that are triggered.
Because there are
I can actually like give examples.
Okay.
I can actually give examples where men are actually triggered. There was a 27-year-old woman who like listed out her achievements, her degree, what she has gotten, and then there was a man that commented, as a 27-year-old woman, you should be under a man and not all this will go to waste, and all this are not you know, important. A 27-year-old woman should be under a masculine man and all of that. Okay, coming to the side of where women talk about like should talk in situations and all of that. So a woman can air her opinion, but in a space where men are also involved and they decide not to take that woman's opinion, the opinion goes to waste. And that will it goes to waste now, because that will like dissuade the woman from giving more opinions about herself and all that, and about opportunity too. Opportunity is limited.
Okay.
It's limited for just the man.
By what factors exactly?
By what factors? Now it was recently that you see women actually with their full chest venturing into, let me say, a course like engineering now. A course like engineering is known as course for the men and all of that. Then for politics, they'll say it's for the men too, because they are leaders. According to stereotypes and everything, men are leaders. But coming to gender equality, yes, there's supposed to be like a head and maybe a supporter.
Yeah.
For sure.
A helpmeet.
For sure. But where a man is no longer leading and is now controlling, that's where the problem comes from.
Okay.
Men naturally should lead.
Okay.
Should lead probably in homes, different places, have women support them and back them up. But where you see a man no longer leading, but he's now controlling, that's where the problem comes from. Then from my contribution to feminism and all of that, I think I joined one NGO one time like that. So, yes.
Do you create any form of awareness on social media?
Yes, I do.
As regards gender equality?
Yes. As regards gender equality, people that know me on social media, I usually create awareness about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Treasure. It's good to know that there's just another woman out there trying to sensitize the female gender, you know, as far as gender equality is concerned. Now, Oshoria, let's begin to look at the extremes of gender advocacy. Now, like I said, there are lots of feminists out there.
Yes.
Okay. No, most times when you hear the word gender, what even comes to mind, funny enough, is women.
Yeah.
Right. Even in, for example, in Uniben, there's an institute or a center for gender studies or something.
Yeah.
And much of the issues that are discussed, they're actually feminine issues, right?
Yeah.
Now, what would you say are the extremes? At what point would you say gender advocacy becomes a problem?
Before I answer that, special shout out to all the ladies out there, beautiful, strong, industrious, hardworking, elegant,
shout out to you guys,
attractive ladies out there that do courses that are generally made for men.
Is this the calm
like
before the storm?
Like the ones you mentioned there?
Yes.
Is this the calm before the storm?
Relax. Relax, okay?
There's no storm anywhere.
Okay.
We are just having a conversation. You know, I have lots of them. Ladies, engineer, my very good sister, Ruth Osareme, she's in the US. She is a master's degree holder in robotic engineering.
Amazing.
Powerful lady.
Wow.
I've had ladies who study medicine, tedious course, pharmacy, and all of that. Back to the question that you asked me.
Yeah.
Those ladies that are out there for gender advocacy, I think something is wrong somewhere.
Okay, you think something is wrong with someone advocating for
I think
gender
so.
equality?
I think so.
Really?
Because if you look at this whole this whole gender advocacy stuff, these ladies have been battered. These ladies have been
You're
disappointed.
talking about the toxic
Yeah.
gender advocates.
It's all product of negative relationship.
Okay.
So many of them already have this whole mindset that they have to speak, they have to advocate,
they have to be heard.
they have to be heard. Men have so much put them in the backstage. This is time for them to speak. Now, judging from where that is coming from, is a heart that is bitter. And anything that is rooted on negativity cannot stand. Now, what is this whole agenda? You want to be equal with a man. That's it all.
But you said a moment ago
hold on. When I married my wife,
Okay.
hold on, I told her, I made a comment, thank God the whole world is watching me, that my wife is not my slave. I'm not marrying her because I'm bored. I'm not marrying her because I need a servant to be cooking for me or to be washing my clothes. I said this marriage is partnership. Yeah, and that is what even the good book suggests that. So it's not like it's a master-servant relationship. No, I had to make it clear. And even when we were having discussion, I told her, that is why in my house, I can do domestic chores, no big deal. I can cook, I can wash, no big deal. So ladies that are involved in this whole feminism stuff,
Okay.
I think something is wrong. Society is not addressing that morale because
Alright.
something is pushing them.
Okay, you know what? You see that thing you said is wrong. It's still Flipside on independent television, and today we're taking a look at the extremes of gender advocacy. Now, right before we went on that break, Oshora was saying something, about, the things he considers wrong with the, those people who are taking the gender advocacy thing to the extreme. So, what were you saying exactly, Oshora?
Yeah, I think based on personal opinion, based on experience and the things I've also observed, people with nuisance value, when they are involved in one or two things, I'm trying to be very mild, when they get kicked, you see them protesting. You see them raising up systems, to fight the other gender so that there can be an emotional balance. So all of this whole talk about feminism, equality, trying to become equals with men, I think there's a problem. Because you cannot just wake up one day and say, I want to be equal with a man. Something pushed it. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The first one says that an object will be at state of rest except something acts on it, which can change the position. So, there are a lot of things that triggers, or a lady that was involved in a marriage, because she wasn't submissive. Because I still don't understand why a woman will be married to a man and she is not submissive to the man. It won't work. Even the Bible said so. So, if such a lady is being kicked out of that marriage, you see them becoming members of one feminist group just to create a system.
So you're saying
where
that,
they can be
that kind of
equal with a
feminism
man.
is not born out of a genuine passion to see both genders.
What is the
treated
objective?
Right? Okay.
These are questions that you should ask. Okay, fine, you are a feminist. What is your objective? Where did that whole feminism thought, where did it come out from? It's born out from where? Which river? Because everything must flow from here. Which river is it coming out from?
Okay.
You understand? So if the objective does not align with bettering the female gender, let's remove the fact that you are trying to be equal with the man. But if you are not talking about how the female gender can be better.
Can be better.
It's not about talk.
Okay.
I believe in action.
All right.
How many times have you bought school uniforms for the female child? How many times have you donated books to the female child? How many times have you taught in a school, pro bono, free of charge, FOC, in a female school?
Okay.
Do you understand? So services must be rendered. It's not all about talk. What is the objective?
All right.
That's what that matters.
Now, while we're on that break, a third guest joined in, and of course, he's a familiar face, and also he's someone who is in the academic field. All right, he goes by the name of Ramsey Abu Waila. It's good to have you in the house, Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Harry. And it's always a pleasure to be here.
Always. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, we're talking about the extremes of gender advocacy.
Okay.
Now, the question I asked Oshoria before you came on board was, at what point does gender advocacy become a problem? At what point does it become extreme? First of all, do you believe in gender advocacy?
Yeah, there should be gender advocacy.
Okay.
But it should not destroy the status quo. What do I mean by this? If you are advocating for equity, then it's okay. But when you are not advocating for equality, that's where the problem lies. You cannot always be the same with a man. There's every man in a woman. Woman, female. There's a male in female. There's a man in woman.
Okay.
It's your head, and that is the status quo. So if you're advocating for fairness and equity, I don't have problem with that. If you are not advocating for equality, that is where the problem lies. But if you check very well, the women have this edge over the men.
Oh, really?
They are like flowers, and they are to be tender, they are to be
But there are some
taken
persons
care
who
of.
beg to, differ. They will tell you that
Africans-
it's actually a man's world.
Yeah, Africa is a patriarchal society, no doubt.
Okay.
But in that same Africa, we took women to be part of our responsibility.
Exactly.
They are tired of that privilege. Maybe they think they want to take the lead. If you are taking the lead, you cannot destroy the status quo. That's the problem now. They want to take the lead. They are tired of being taken care of. They are tired of being seen as flowers. They are tired of being seen as part of our
As being
responsibility.
nurtured.
They want to
They are
be
tired
fit.
of being nurtured by the men. They want to be at the forefront. That's where the problem lies. And it's always a problem because, you see, what God have instituted, it's difficult for some group to just come up to say, we are no longer comfortable with this. I am not saying they don't have right to advocate for good things.
Better treatment.
I am saying they don't have right to destroy that institution, that spiritual and divine institution created by God. When women say they are feminists, I look at them. I prefer they say they are womanists. Feminism is destructive. Womanism is okay. I should be treated as a human being, as a woman.
Yes.
And I shouldn't be seen as someone who is antagonizing the institution.
Okay.
That is my stance.
Now, Treasure, do you agree with that?
No.
Okay, so go ahead. Tell me what you think.
I strongly disagree with that. First of all, he said women don't want to be nurtured, don't want to be treated like flowers. If you treat a woman well, I don't think she would want to leave, or she would want to be at the forefront. Or I think this is like how will I put it now? A reaction towards domestic violence,
Towards maltreatment.
towards maltreatment, yes, a reaction towards maltreatment. This cannot be like a reaction towards, you can't say a woman was nurtured right. She was treated like a flower, and then she does not want to be treated like that anymore. It's not,
Okay.
I don't think that aligns with what is actually...
with your belief.
Yeah,
now,
with my
now,
belief.
some persons believe that there is this innate desire in women to want to do more, right? Some persons believe that women are no longer just satisfied with, taking care of the home, right? Hence the new crave for leadership positions and all of that. Do you think it's possible for a woman to, man the home, take care of the home front, and at the same time still aspire, for leadership positions?
Yes.
You think that's possible?
Yeah, that's very...
Don't you think that's going to, pose a threat to the home front, where she is supposed to be living up to expectation?
Pose a threat to the home front or pose a threat to the man?
Okay. So you think it's going to be a threat to the man and not to the home front? Because,
Because,
when a woman
I don't know,
is
in
taking up a
marriage-
role that's not hers, by nature, for example, people will tell you that it's a man's role to lead naturally. But a situation where a woman is now aspiring to become the leader rather than taking care of the home, don't you think it's going to be a clash of, duties?
Okay, I don't think this is about aspiring to be the leader and not taking care of the home.
Okay, so what do
Okay,
you
let
think it's
me
about?
explain this in like layman's term now.
Okay.
So first of all, there is this idea of 50-50, and there is this idea of traditional way of running the home where the man just fully provides and then the woman takes care of the home. But in a situation where the woman decides to work alongside with the woman, with the man, sorry,
yeah.
a woman works alongside with the man. This is where like they do like this 50-50 stuff because they are both working. So this one will provide for the home, this one will also provide for the home. So where a man is coming back from work, a woman is also coming back from work, and then the man is going straight to bed. The man goes straight to bed and relax, while the woman is going to take care of the kids, take care of the home, make sure the home is clean, also prepare dinner for them. So I don't think that's like aspiring to be the leader. The man can still also lead.
Can lead, okay.
And then the woman can support, and she can also have her own fair share of human rights in that home. So another one about feminism and womanism. Okay, you said feminism is destructive.
Okay. You don't
Personally,
agree with that?
I don't agree with the fact that feminism is destructive.
Okay.
Because feminism has to do with proposal for the motion of equity, equality. I don't know, should there be a difference?
That's where the problem is, because I think some people do not realize that there's a difference between equity and equality. So what exactly is feminism?
Yes.
Maybe you should take it from there, Ramsey.
Now, you see, when a lady is fighting for her rights, you ask a question. What particularly are you fighting for?
Exactly.
What you hear is, I should be treated as a man. We should be equal. There is no way you be equal to a man, even if he's a cripple. If you call him your husband, you must submit to him. The Bible gave you the opportunity to choose the man that you will submit to. There is no right. You don't have this official right in your home. Like trying to say, this is my home, I am also a human being, I should be treated equally with my man and all that. If you're talking about fairness and equity, all humans definitely need to be treated fairly. Yeah. But if you're not fighting for equality, there was always a problem. So the sets of feminists that we have today are actually fighting for equity. And that's where they get it wrong. When they are supposed to be fighting for equality. If a woman is in your house, of course you are not a beast. You should know she has a right. She has her own rights as a human being. You shouldn't treat her and throw her to the background. But when she's not trying to take the lead, the fear that men have is when you start bruising their ego, that fear, that tension comes in. I choose a wife. I didn't just choose every other woman. Yeah. I choose one particular one. I choose the one that should submit to me. It is my responsibility to love her. Yeah. It is our responsibility to submit to me.
Okay.
So if anyone is trying to change the status quo, that's where the problem, that's where the extremism comes in. That's where the destruction comes in. Okay. That's where the problem comes in.
All right. Now, Sharia,
yeah.
Some persons believe that there's an extreme to all of this, right? That, for instance, they believe that a man can only start complaining about his woman doing too much if he has a sense of insecurity, if he has a low self-esteem. Do you subscribe to that school of thought?
Can you come again?
Okay, some women believe that once a man begins to ask questions, he made mention of ego a moment ago, that, you know, the moment a woman begins to challenge a man's authority, his ego is, you know, under threat. And then he begins to find a way to, you know, fight back, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that is a function of a low self-esteem or inferiority complex? Or insecurity?
On the aspect of the man?
Yes, on the man's part.
Men, naturally, they want to be in charge. We are like that. You know, God have to make Adam to fall into a deep sleep and bring out the woman. So men wants to be in charge. So when a woman is acting all feminist, trying to subdue the man's authority, and if the man responds back, that response is not out of having a low self-esteem. It's just a normal reaction.
Okay.
Now, he said something that I really love. He said women are like flowers, but many of them they don't want to be treated as flowers anymore. They want to be at the fore.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you something about flowers. Thank God I'm a biologist. Okay, because of time. Now, if flowers blossom, they bud to form the fruit. All of this is a function of time.
Okay.
So, at your time, you will become a fruit. You don't need to fight for it. So women should understand that. So any man that is responding based on that behavior, I don't think he's out of low self-esteem. He's just a normal reaction, because you cannot alter what is senior to you. A man is a man,
Okay.
and you must respect him. But the woman should not be enslaved. I don't like that.
Okay.
It's more of partnership. So God will help us anyway.
Okay, now Treasure, do you subscribe to what he just said, or you? Of course, I never expected you to. So go on.
I don't subscribe to what he just said, because he made mention of you should respect the man. A man is in charge. Why? In what sense do you
so
actually...
you do not agree that a man is in charge?
No. In what sense
Do you see as your husband? Do you see your husband being in charge?
Do you actually
If you are
mean-
married, do you see your husband being in charge?
In what sense do you actually mean?
No,
women
because-
are naturally...
It's okay.
No, hold on now. Are you trying to tell me that your
Women-
husband is not in charge?
women
Someone that
are
paid the bride
naturally-
price?
women
So
are
you
naturally
have your
working
submissive.
definition of
You had your
Women are
chance.
naturally
Let her go on
submissive
with her
in
thought.
places where they feel safe.
Okay.
Okay.
So in a place where a woman does not feel safe, there's this, you have triggered something. There's just
tendency
this,
to
tendency to
fight back.
react
Yeah,
and
okay.
fight back. So where a woman feels safe, she does not even need to start talking all this. I want to be in charge. My husband will do it. My husband. But where the man is now, there's some women, there's some men. See this thing. There are women that are ambitious, and there are women that are homely.
Okay.
So if you as a man want a homely woman, take a homely woman. Don't take an ambitious woman and try to make her homely.
Good.
Okay.
Don't take a homely woman and try to make her ambitious and see your mates, they are working, they are doing this for their husband. Because I have seen a lot of women that are actually breadwinners in their homes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Breadwinners, how much is bread?
There are a lot of women that are breadwinners in their homes. So what exactly do you mean by...
All right.
If
Now,
they are ambitious, does that mean they shouldn't respect their husband? That's the question I'm
Respect
asking.
their husband in what
No,
sense?
of course.
Respect their husband in what
The fact that they are ambitious, does that mean that they will not be
No, that's why- that's why-
respectful?
For the sake of
In
time,
what
all right.
sense
Now,
do
the
we-
question I would like to ask in conclusion is this: is it possible to be a homely woman and also be an ambitious woman? In 30 seconds, because we're actually rounding up right now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very possible
Tell
to
me
be
how.
a homely and ambitious woman. Women who have jobs and then they also have a home to take care of. I think that's like always like on women that either are the breadwinners or their husbands are also working, so they just feel the need that they should take care of the children, they should take care of the home, because according to society it is a woman thing.
All right.
It is a woman thing. So yes, there are women that are actually
Ambitious and homely at the
ambitious
same time.
and homely at the same time. There are women that can manage the two, and that's why there are variety of species, variety of human beings. There are women that can both be ambitious and homely.
At the same
There are
time.
women that can be homely, just homely, and they are not ambitious. They just want
Alright.
to be at home and take care of the home.
Okay, I'll take that to be your final thought on this. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you for being on the show tonight. Today, you guys have said a whole lot about gender advocacy and its extremes. I actually do wish we had more time to talk about this, but hopefully we'll have a part 2 of this discussion, because I can see that you guys are still itching
There's no
to
time
say
now.
more.
The
But it's
time is
okay.
no time.
It's been Flipside on independent television, and of course we've been talking about the extremes of gender advocacy. Now, whatever it is you're advocating for, please do consider the people you are dealing with, all right? Yes, nobody is an island. We both need each other. The men need the women and the women need the men, okay? But one thing is certain: whatever you do, you must treat your partner or your neighbor like your fellow human being, just like they say, love your neighbor as yourself. My name is Harry Agboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do ensure you stay out of trouble and have yourself a lovely day ahead. Bye for now.